everybody, and welcome back to the Best Friends Club Podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Charlotte.
And my name is Fizz.
And we're back. It's been a little while.
It's been a while. Yes. We're a little bit rusty. Hopefully things go well, but it has been a while. Yeah.
It has. Like how TV series sometimes have like a mid-season hiatus. That's what we've had.
Basically, I think that's what it is. How are you? But there's like a reason, right? So like, how are you, Charlotte, and how have you been?
I'm fine. So I was ill when we were going to record, and I was like, I can't talk. I will be like coughing and sneezing throughout the entire record, so I can't record. So we tried to then postpone, and then I was like, right, I'm ready to go when you are. And my home phone is ringing. Do you know what? I knew that would happen. I knew that would happen as soon as we started. Bear with me. Okay, I'm back. It was just a scam call. It wasn't even an actual person calling us. How rude.
How rude. Oh my god. But how did you... I mean, we can fix that, but how annoying. Don't they know we're doing important work?
I'm recording a podcast. Please stop calling me. God. But anyway, back to us. So I was fine, and then I was like, let's record, and then Fizz, you weren't feeling too great.
Yeah, and then I got really sick, and it lasted for a while, like until maybe a couple of days ago. But I'm feeling much better, so that's good. We've come back, I think, better than ever to record, which is a good thing.
Yeah. We say that every time we come back, so it must be true.
It must be true.
And it was so kind of Dan and Phil, whilst we were having a little hiatus, to just do everything, to do the most.
The most. Everything we could think of, they did it. Just a quick recap, I guess, of what the last month has looked like with Dan and Phil. They announced the tour and ticketing happened.
Yeah, just a little tour, like just a little announcement. Oh, hey, we're just going to go on tour. No big deal.
I'm laughing thinking about when we last recorded. We were like, we hope it's not a tour. Like, that's so obvious. We hope it's something else.
We were so young and naive.
Naive as hell. Oh my god. But yeah, congrats to everyone who got tickets.
Yes, congratulations to everybody who got tickets. It's very exciting. It looks very cool, so I'm very intrigued to see what the tour will be.
Yeah, because we know nothing. All we know is our inner child will be healed, and that's about it. But the aesthetics look really, really cool. Yeah.
They do look very cool. So get tour. And then just some other little things. They did another mukbang. Okay,
Casual.
Sure, why not?
Casual, yep.
Which was incredible. Did debate, do we talk about that now? But we're going to stick to our guns and we're going to stick to our chronological plan. So look forward to us discussing mukbang to Electric Boogaloo in 4 years.
In 4 years. In season 5.
Season 5, we'll get to that.
And then we had, a few gaming videos. We had the Sims apology video, which was cool.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we had what I would consider ultimate Charlotte bait content.
Mm-hmm, I know what you're going to say.
Which is Dan and Phil dress each other.
What is with all this clothing content? And where is my commission? That's all I'm asking.
Honestly, every time they do an outfit inspired, because I feel like they know that you are going to spend so much time looking for these outfits. They should be DMing you beforehand, being like, hey, we're going to do this. Be ready. This is the stuff we found. They should be providing you with links, honestly.
They should be helping me out.
This is a business. Yeah.
So they did that. And then they've also been on holiday. We've been away for a month, and Dan and Phil have literally just done tour, bam, game videos, bam. Oh, yeah, we're going to do another mukbang, bam. Oh, we're also just going to go on holiday for 7 days and sit in the sun. And they dropped that awful photo dump on Instagram, which was disgusting. I don't know how you feel about those pictures, Fizz, but they made me feel violently ill.
I was so sick. I could not handle it. Can't even talk about it.
Like, sick before, I would have been sick after watching those pictures.
Yeah, I know, right? Like
Looking at the pictures.
Watching the pictures, just staring at them. And then, how rude, on holiday, they film and upload another video.
Do these men not rest?
Honestly, I don't think so. I think they're girl-bossing a little too much.
The girl never stops for Dan and Phil.
I think it's genuinely them just like buying the house and they're like, oh shit, we have to pay for things now. And that's just why we have a lot of content. Anyway, that's what their month has looked like. Way more exciting than our sickness-filled July.
Yeah, well, Phil decided to steal our thunder and he also got sick. So, bit rude.
That's true. Bit rude. Stole our
I mean,
thunder
okay, maybe Phil nearly died, but still. We could have nearly died.
Still. It's true, we could have. You never know.
Where's our sympathy, Phil Lester? You don't see us making an entire podcast episode about us being sick.
So true. Imagine if we did that.
Whole podcast episode. Mine would be so boring because I just went to work as normal, but I was sick at the same time.
Yeah. It's like you can't talk. I'm just like coughing up a storm. It's fine. But that's like what they've been up to. That's what we've been up to.
But
shall we move on?
The important question. Yes, let's move on. The most important question is, what were Dan and Phil up to in November 2013?
Well, the answer to that is, in the title of our episode name, they were filming Phil is on Fire 5!
Phil is on Fire 5. We're here again. It's that time of year. Get out the whiskers. Get out your cozy winter jumpers. Fanny season has arrived.
It has. It's much later than what we consider fanny season in current times, because I feel like October is when we're like fanny season, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah. But I think that PINOF uploads did get later, because I went through my tweets for this one and I was tweeting at like the beginning of October being like, oh, PINOF this month, and this was like end of November, so...
Yeah. I think the entire last quarter of the year is fanny season, because you go
absolutely
from PINOF to Spooky Week to Gaming Miss to just so much content at all times ever. So yeah.
So PINOF 5 uploaded on the 22nd of November 2013. I did a little bit of research before just to see what the context, what the history was for this. So Phil asked 4 questions for this on November 12th. So again, quick turnaround, which we know they like to do with their PINOFs. They don't hang about. They ask the questions, they record it, and they film it within the space of like a week.
Yes. I did similar research, and I looked at just the filming time. They filmed it, I think Phil tweeted that they finished filming on the 20th, I think, the 19th or the 20th of November. Spent a day, almost 2 days editing, and then uploaded it the very next day, which is, again, insane that he was doing all of that in the matter of like 3 days.
Yeah. So I had a look, and I think they filmed it on the 16th of November.
Oh,
because
really?
Phil had done a tweet saying earlier in the week, saying that they were getting a new camera that would be arriving on
the famous lens
Saturday.
And all that. Yeah.
And they were then going to be filming that after. And then I had a little look through as well. Phil did a UNAT live show on November 16th, and he said that they were going to be recording PINOF like that evening. So I think it was November 16th. Sorry, Fizz.
Debunked. Maybe just yet. Uh, wait, then why did he lie? Or is it, did they refilm? No, they refilmed on the same day.
Phil did an Insta post on the 21st.
That's true. That was his promo tweet. That might have been
Which was
why
a
I
promo
thought.
tweet. Yeah, but no, they didn't film it then. I think they were just trying to build up the tension.
Ooh, that because PINOF is like a proper series now.
Yeah.
So they're doing promo tweets and stuff. Yeah.
Promo tweets. This was the second picture that they'd uploaded. So they did a picture for PINOF 4. And then they did a picture for PINOF 5 as well.
Yeah, and they would go on to do it every PINOF after that, I think.
Yeah, and thank God, to be honest, because I love those pictures.
Same. I do too. It's a nice tradition.
It really is a nice tradition. Let's jump into the video. So again, as with all the other PINOFs, like, content-wise, there isn't a whole lot to discuss in terms of, like, deep Dan and Phil lore and, like, discussions. But it's a fun one. I like this PINOF. I think it has... I was watching it, and I haven't watched it for quite a while, but I was watching it, and there were so many quotes that I remember, so many, like, little lines and little, like, gestures and weird dances that they did that are just stuck in my head. So I remembered it quite well.
Yeah, I think same. I think content-wise, this is, like, a really, really good PINOF. I just never rewatch it as much as the later ones and the earlier ones. Yeah, I think the biggest, like, the thing that I remember the most is the handshake. I think a lot of iconic bits are in the spin-off, like the handshake and like the sexy end screen dance and Phil wearing Dan's shirt. Like early instances of outfit switching on purpose.
Oh my god, this is so fitting. You're so right. This is where it all began. Actually, no, it's not. I know that Dan did like a tweet back in like 2009 where he was trying on Phil's clothes. So
yes,
not the first instance.
Not first instance, but I think for content it is one of the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first time they did it for content. So a little bit of lore about this, thanks to Dan and Phil react to PINOF 5. So, which I don't think we knew this before then, or maybe we did and like it was mentioned, but they had to film this one twice. So the one that we're seeing is the second go of it, which is crazy to me that they then, obviously I know they couldn't, there was no way that they could salvage the original footage. So they had to film it twice, but that's just crazy to me because obviously PINOF is sort of an organic, natural, like improvised thing. It is weird that they then had to like put that persona on again purposefully to film it again.
I know. I can't imagine how. I mean, I know PINOF is fun at this point for them, but I cannot imagine how exhausting it must have been because they always film it. They have said like at ridiculous times in the night, and it's just so much energy to be so weird and constantly, and it's not like they're just sitting and talking right now. They're moving around, they're doing all of these things. And then there's just like the Sharpie fumes and everything that just go to their head. For the art.
For the art, they sacrifice so much for us. And then my other little fact was, so what I mentioned before, that they had ordered a new camera and they were going to use this new camera to film PINOF. So the very first video that they were going to film on this brand new camera was going to be PINOF. I feel like that's a brave move.
It is like your biggest video of the year and you're going to trust a new camera.
But as they pointed out in their reaction video, they said the lighting is really bad because they didn't know how to work the lens, which makes sense because it was a brand new camera that they had no idea how to use. So
yeah, I've thought this for years as well. Like looking at it, it's not the best looking PINOF. I think it's too
absolutely
zoomed
not.
in. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not
so
nice.
like, is oversaturated? Is that the word? Like it's so bright.
So. It is so bright, yeah. Which is a shame again because the content is really good in it.
It is a good PINOF. Some highlights. One of the first notes that I wrote is the when they were talking about the shoulder boobs, and Dan was like, because that's how boobs work. And obviously, looking back on that now, as they did as well, they were like, that's two gay men talking about boobs who have absolutely no idea how boobs work at all.
Yeah, I made a note saying that I hate that Dan said the word lactating. I was like,
Ew.
don't say that.
You're not allowed to say that word.
Yeah, please. One of my notes was, this is the most, like, so far, I think this is the most off the time PINOF. Even then, like, even more so than PINOF 4. Like, there's so many references that only work in 2013. So, like, there's the wrecking ball, there's the slow motion camera video thing, and just, I don't know, it just feels very, very 2013 to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think that is something that's really nice about all of them anyway, is they are such a time capsule of what is the internet talking about at this specific point in time. Because people are always going to send in questions with like references to internet things that are going on. But no, I agree, yeah. I think, I can't remember which one it is they said in their reaction video, whether it's PINOF 7 that they said had too many references and that was a negative for them. Because I know they liked PINOF 6.
Ooh, I think it was either 4 or 7. Because 4 had all of the...
7. I think that they just described that one as mid. I think maybe it's I think it might be 7 that they said had too many references.
Yeah.
I'll have to give it a little rewatch and see.
Yeah. When we get to that episode, we will talk about it, I think.
Yes.
One thing I remember from their reaction to the video is Dan immediately pointed out that he, like, you can tell that they are just working every single day, every second of the day, because they're doing YouTube, they're doing the radio, because they've been doing the radio show for almost a year at this point, like the entirety of 2013. And you can just tell from their faces that their job is their life. And I think before he pointed it out, I couldn't tell. But now that I have the context, I'm like, whoa, actually, yeah, you guys look, like, you look tired.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, again, Dan mentioning in the reaction video, like, that they were actually making money off their videos now. Like, and this was the year that they blew up. So when he said that, I did a little bit of research to see how many subs that they had at this point. Not at this specific point, but so between PINOF 5 and the last video that we did. Phil had hit 1 million subscribers on the 6th of July. Obviously, Dan had hit 1 million back in February.
Yes.
Which we discussed on the podcast. Can't remember what episode that was. And then Dan hit 2 million on the 30th of July. In the space of 5 months, he had gained 1 million subscribers, which is absolutely... That feels insane. I don't know if, like, how insane that was for the time, whether, like, there were other YouTubers who were gaining millions faster, which I'm sure that there must have been. And, like, looking back...
I'm trying to think, but maybe a few of them that were getting big, but I feel like, I don't know if this is, like, bigger internet history, but do you remember, like, are you aware of, like, Jake Paul's song? That's, like, 5 million in 6 months, never done before. Like, he has a song, and there's a lyric in there where he goes, 5 million in 6 months, never done before. So I think before Jake Paul...
you know what I thought? You said Jake Balls. I was like, who's Jake Balls?
No, that's alternate dimension Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, I'm with you now. Okay, yeah. I still haven't heard that song, but I'm with you now. I'm on the same page.
Jake Paul, YouTuber. You should check him. I mean, don't check him out. I don't know what he's doing these days. I don't know what he's doing this time. But before he came on the scene and bragged about getting 5 million in 6 months, I think it was weird to jump from 1 million to another million within a few months, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different internet. Like,
Yeah.
or not.
But I mean, Dan was right. Like, this is the year that they blew up. And then I think Dan hit 3 million, like, in December or something. So from the space of July to December, like 6 months, he hit another 3 million. Like, absolutely crazy. So, yeah, they were working so hard, doing the most. They were going to every YouTube convention. They were uploading all the videos and doing all the, like, brand content.
Yeah.
And also they were doing the radio show as well.
Yeah. And we just don't know. Like, they could have had so many projects behind the scenes that we just will never know about, I think, with the way they were.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I love the little bit where they have the pillow fight. I thought that was really cute. I wrote a note of, they're just girlies having a little pillow fight at a sleepover.
At a sleepover. So true. If you think about it, PINOF is really sleepover core behavior. Yeah.
And they're just having a little pillow fight. It's cute.
Yeah. It is really cute. One of my notes is the question about fingernails for nipples or nipples for fingernails.
I wrote about this as well.
I said it's giving the hand by Phil Lester because it's just the fingernails for nipples just makes it look like there's a hand coming out of you. And I think it might have inspired him.
Maybe that's where it all came from. I did write a note about this entire PINOF is like so nipply. There's lots of nipple chat. Like Dan's rubbing his nipples at one point. They're talking about boobs and nipples. Phil rubs his nipples against Dan at one point. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, is this just... They should have been like nicknamed Phil is not on a nipple or something.
Maybe.
I don't think that would have had the same ring to it.
Maybe not. I think they should have put in a warning, at least like warning, nipples.
Warning, there are lots of nipples in this.
My God.
One of my favourite Phil lines from this one is one that I remember quite a lot is the someone asks them, what should I do with the dead body? And Dan is like, eat it or whatever, and then Phil is like, dress as it, skin coat, and they do that weird little dance, and then even in reaction, like Phil laughs at that, and he's like, that was a good joke.
Yeah,
that's a good joke.
It was a really funny joke. Phil's like physical comedy can sometimes be so out of pocket but so funny. More than his like, actually no, I think the way he speaks without thinking is really funny. When words just sort of come out of his mouth.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Which is most of the time, to be honest. That's most of Phil's like iconic quotes. It's just stuff that he's said without thinking about it first.
Yeah, he's not thought through the end of a sentence in his life, ever. Good. I mean, he has 2 degrees, so something changed, I think, after those.
One thing I commented on as well, which again Dan commented on in the reaction video, is how much older they both look in this one compared to PINOF 4.
It's so true. Like
it's so weird. Like for both of them, there's just such a big jump, and I think they do look so much older, even though it's only a year. So like Phil is 26 in this one, and Dan is 22. But but it's still just like they just look so much older than the first one. So I don't really know what was going on.
Like Dan especially, his face just looks so much older.
Yeah,
I can't figure out why. Is it just because they worked a lot? I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know, or maybe like partly to do with the lighting didn't like flatter them that well.
Fair.
But if you think that like PINOF 4 and PINOF 5 are like a year apart, they do just look so different.
Yeah, because after that, I think I really start confusing 6, 7, 8. 9,
oh, absolutely, yeah. They all blur together for me after this.
Yeah, especially
because they all just look the same.
Yeah. They also just like started wearing very normal clothes where I'm just like, I don't remember what t-shirt this is.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one is very, very different in so many ways. It just looks different than the others, weird.
I think they were right to rank this one like one of the lowest.
Yeah. Because same. Honestly, same. I think this might be my lowest ranked one. Sorry to any PINOF 5 stands.
I put up my final thoughts at the end. Like, I do like this one, and I say when I was watching it, like, I remembered loads of the quotes and like the little bits that they do. But for me, I think it's like quite forgettable compared to the others. Like, I could probably tell you something. I think, again, like you said, maybe sort of like 7, 8. I'm getting a little bit confused about what those ones are. But if you asked me for like all the others, I could tell you a specific thing that like they say in each of them. Whereas this one, I'd be like, I don't know. Was that the one where they did this, or was that the one where they said that? Like, it just feels a bit forgettable for me.
Yeah. I didn't rewatch it enough. Yeah. Sorry to pin off 5 stands.
Sorry, pin off 5 stands. We're sorry for our unpopular opinions. But again, it's the best friend handshake, which I think claws it back. Like, I think if they didn't have that, it would be even lower. But the best friend handshake is really cute, and I like that they practiced it to make sure they got it right.
Yeah, it was really cute. I wonder if they hadn't refilmed it, we just would not have had the...
Oh my god, that's so true.
Yeah. So, thank you for whoever asked that question.
I would love to have seen like the lost PINOF 5. Like, what does that look like?
I know. What were the vibes like? What were the questions? God, if this one was still chaotic. It's not like it wasn't chaotic. It was just it's just a lot of things that didn't work. I think like the sexy and screen dance should have been funny, but I don't know why. I wasn't vibing with it.
Maybe it was the leather t-shirt.
Yeah, I know, that's true actually.
Speaking of the leather t-shirt, I always remember when I've watched this, how broad Phil's shoulders look in that leather t-shirt.
True.
And I don't know why. Yeah. Like in any other t-shirt, it's like, oh, that's just Phil. But in this one, he's like, woof, like, hello, I have shoulders.
I think because it doesn't sit on skin well. I don't think it's... Maybe. I think it's a bit in the air. I don't think it's on his shoulders at all. But yeah, he does look so broad. He's suddenly like hench.
I would just like to make a call out post for Dan and Phil of 2013 of Dan's talking backwards. That shouldn't have been a fail. He said monkfish perfectly clearly, and I demand a recount.
To the past where Phil edited a fail on him. You know what? Same. They call it out in the reaction as well. And he did say it perfectly. I don't think Phil's brain can comprehend how backward stuff works, because he said atulus, which is a spatula. Like, he didn't flip it.
No.
But I think Dan did it much better, both times.
He did, correct. I think that's probably about it for all of my notes. I like the silly little ending that they do where they make the silly noises and like Dan pretends to be a horse. That was cute.
Yeah, that was cute. That was like a nice little tidbit that they gave us.
And I just remembered as well the bit where Phil pretends to be a butterfly with no wings and Dan is a other animal that I can't remember. A goose. Yeah, a goose.
He does goose so well. Dan's goose is so good. Also, I remember from that part, this is not part of the PINOF, it's part of the reaction, so I don't know if it counts. But Phil mentioning that his grandma had a goose.
Yeah.
Which, again, just like lore dump. That's great.
What is a Dan and Phil video without an amazing Phil lore dump?
And which is almost always grandma specific.
Yeah, he had a crazy family.
Truly, truly insane life that he has led. No wonder he's like this, I guess.
Honestly, looking at Phil's family, like, it explains so much. Like, I can say, oh, right, that's why you're like this. That makes sense now.
Yeah. It's good for us. It's entertaining. But...
It is. It is very entertaining. Thank you, Phil's family, for being weird as hell.
So True. But yeah, that's it. These spin-offs have not been that long. They used to be about 5 minutes max at back in the day.
So I had a little look through the comments on this one. This was the first pin-off, apparently, where they drew whiskers on each other.
Oh, that's true. They always like drew them in the viewfinder, like for themselves.
Yeah, but this is the first one where they drew them on each other, which I hadn't like sort of clicked or realised. I was like, oh, that's cute.
That is really cute.
So again, I wonder, is that a conscious decision that they made, or was it just natural and it just sort of happened?
I'm leaning towards natural and sort of just happened.
Wait, so do we see them draw the whiskers on? So had they taken the whiskers off after filming the first one, then checked the footage and realised the footage was
good
ruined?
question. Good question. See, this is why I'm like, I don't know.
Let me have a look at the beginning. Let me see. We'll cut this bit out. I just want to see if they do draw the whiskers on each other. But like, they must do if someone commented that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did just have a look, and they do draw whiskers on each other for this one. So my question is, like, did they take them off and then put them back on? But like, I can't see any trace of the old whiskers, and we know how hard Sharpie is to remove. So surely there would be some trace on their skin of the old whiskers.
Did it look like, so when you watched it back, did it look like they had actually drawn it on, or did they pretend to do it? Maybe? No,
Phil didn't have anything on his face. And Dan was drawing them on.
That's crazy. Actually, it does kind of look scrubbed throughout the video, but I just thought that was because they'd been filming for a while. Who knows?
Maybe. I don't know.
Or mystery.
We'll never know. Maybe it's all a lie. Maybe something else happened and like this was just they never filmed a second one and it's just all a lie.
They just chose to lie for fun.
They're men, of course they lie for fun, Fizz.
Oh my god. Never expect anything else from
It's a big conspiracy. Right, we're gonna debunk this.
Alright. Our side hustle is just like detectives.
I honestly think some fannies could be detectives, though how much work they do.
I think so too. Oh my god. But yeah.
So anyway, let's move on to some little outfit ratings. Not a whole lot to discuss with this one. Dan is just wearing a plain black long sleeve t-shirt, which gets like a 1 out of 10 from me for being boring as hell.
I gave this one a 2 out of 10, and I said generous because he also has dry shampoo on the t-shirt. So
that's true, yeah, as well. Yeah, definitely still sticking with my 1 out of 10 for the dry shampoo.
Yep. Phil's I gave a bit higher. I gave him a 6.
Okay.
Just because he looks good in blue.
Yeah, no, I agree. I gave it a 5 out of 10 for the Sonic t-shirt.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on. I think that's like one of the few times he wore that t-shirt. I was going to
say, I don't remember him wearing that again.
Yeah, I don't remember. And I mean, they didn't like their hair in the video, but I thought the hair was like herring. I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked the long hair.
It was fine. They did have long fringes, as we saw them measure their fringes. But yeah, I thought it was just like, this is just classic 2013 Dan and Phil hair.
Yeah, kind of like when you think of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and you think of the long hair. Like, yeah, that's 2013 hair.
Goblet of Fire era. So let's do some video rankings. Fizz, how many nipples out of 10 would? You're not expecting me to say that.
Go ahead.
How many nipples out of 10 are you going to rate PINOF 5? This is a big one.
I'm going to give PINOF 5 6.5 nipples out of 10.
Wow, 6.5.
Average, like very average. Is that too much? I don't know.
I can't remember what I've ranked the other ones to see like where it fits.
We should start noting these down, huh? We're
We should.
organized, we're just not that organized. It's just vibes. But yeah, Charlotte, how many nipples out of 10 would you give Philizon 5-5?
Okay, now it's less than PINOF 4, but I can't remember what I ranked PINOF 4. So I might just copy you and go maybe like a 6. 6 or a 7. I'm going to go with 7. I feel me giving it a 6. I'm going to go 7 out of 10. 7 nipples out of 10.
You know what? Fair enough. But yeah, after everything we've said about it being like forgettable, lighting looks bad, 6.57. Yep.
The thing is, they're still good, even if it's not like the best PINOF. They're still all good.
Yes, that's true. PINOF is one of their best sort of like content that they put out every single time.
I literally wrote as a note like PINOF is an institution. Like the hype around this video every year was absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's like our entire years would just lead up to PINOF and being like, what were they going to reference? What are they going to say? And every single time it went a notch up. So by the time we got to 10, it was like unprecedented like levels of what are they going to do? Oh my god. And I think PINOF 5 is where that started because again, they started getting bigger. People were watching them more. So yeah.
But yeah, like this was like the highlight of everybody's year.
Yeah, this was the first spin-off I was there for like the whole thing where they asked for questions, they filmed it, edited it, yeah. So I remember being super excited.
Yeah, and I think we might have spoken about this in the other PINOFs videos that we've discussed. Like PINOF was even more of like a huge deal because the joint content that we were getting was like so few and far between.
Yes, that's so true.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So like any joint content that we were getting, like so that was just like just the odd one. So PINOF was even more exciting because I think it truly felt like we were seeing an authentic representation of who Dan and Phil were.
True. Also because I would say the only joint content in terms of like content was we saw them on the radio every week. But again, that's different to this one because they weren't being as authentic in quotes as they're not like weird internet freaks, right? On the radio, they have to do their job. But this one is like, just full on vibes.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just weird how like there used to be so much hype and like build up and like anticipation for the PINOF, and then it would drop and it would be like so all consuming. And I think it's weird. I'm so glad that they don't do them anymore. I can't imagine them doing like another PINOF. I think it's definitely had its time and they stopped it at the right time. Because I don't think there'd be as much hype around it. Maybe I'm incorrect, and like I mean I'd probably still be like absolutely go insane if they did do another PINOF.
If they did one more now after years, yes. But if they had continued doing it with no hiatus, that'd be like a bit sad. Which they've talked about in the reaction as well. They'd be like,
yeah,
what are we doing?
I'm glad that they stopped it when they did, but it's just weird. Like I can't imagine now if they like picked it back up again and did like a series 2 of PINOF. Like, I just feel like it wouldn't hit the same as it had done before.
No, I don't think so either. Plus, their content now is kind of reflective of PINOF's past in that, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's just very like their personalities show off more in these regular videos that they don't need PINOF to be weirdos. You know what I mean?
That's so true. That's so good. You said that so well, Fizz. That's so true.
Thank you.
That's what I mean. I think, like, especially obviously since the gaming channel has come back, I think their joint content then is now. I'm going to say it. This could be bold. The joint content that we've gotten since the gaming channel came back is better than PINOF.
Ooh, I was going to agree with you before you finished. That's interesting. I think PINOF cannot be compared to regular content.
No, I agree with that. I don't think it can be compared, but like what we're getting now in terms of their interactions and how we're seeing them on camera together and the dynamic that we're seeing is so much better than anything we got in a PINOF.
That's, you know what? I will agree with you on that. I think this is a hot take, but I will agree with you. I think a lot of nostalgia and like emotion is attached to PINOF. That's why even before I was like, I don't think you can compare them, but objectively, if you look at it, as objectively as you can, I guess. But I think I agree with you. I think that's just the post coming out air with the content that is part of it.
And I am absolutely aware, obviously just put like a whole sort of like disclaimer on this that, oh, someone is mowing outside. Can you hear that?
I did hear like a whoosh.
Let me just shut the window. Bear with me. Roll then. God's sake.
Oh my God.
Right, where was I before I was rudely interrupted by somebody mowing their lawn or doing something? What I was saying was obviously like a whole sort of disclaimer and everything. I'm fully aware that all their content post coming out has been a million times more than it would have ever been before because they can be more authentically themselves. Like they don't have to hide behind anything. So I'm aware of all that. But even so, yeah, I've said what I've said about PINOF and I'm going to stay true to my word.
Yeah, no, you should. I think you're right in a way. There's just, I don't know, I think PINOF as a concept is just, all it is them answering questions, and it's kind of constricting in that way as well. But even in terms of quality of like jokes and stuff and how comfortable they are in front of a camera, I think PINOF had to walk for the gaming channel to run, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. I love that.
I think they had to be a bit weird once a year to get to the point where we're getting like stuff like Sister Daniel and just I don't know.
Yeah,
it's all connected.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much everything. That's all my notes.
Same. I think that's all I have.
We'll do the outro, but maybe we won't say what we're doing next episode because we haven't confirmed yet.
So true. We'll just be like, oh, next week we want to keep it a surprise, like because both things are quite exciting. Because store or photo booth, which is iconic. Yeah.
Oh, photo booth! I can't believe that was in like November. In my head, that was like way earlier in the year.
Weird, because for me it was later. It's such a December video to me.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's also not that long. Again, like, these felt so long. And it's only 5 and a bit minutes long.
Crazy. Yeah, we'll do the outro now. So, thank you everybody for listening to the Best Friends Club podcast and listen to us discuss PINOF 5. It's been a treat to come back and I'm excited to get back into the swing of things.
Yes, thank you all for listening. And we'll be back next week or the next time we see you. Whenever. Do we want to keep it a surprise, like next week?
We're gonna keep it a surprise because we haven't quite worked out what the next episode is going to be yet. So that's why we're keeping it a surprise. But we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.